Hi, my name's Nick LeMessurier. I live near Coventry. I've been, I did my training with the Cursler Trust probably about a year ago, but I've actually only been working with my mentee since January because there was a delay in him coming out of prison. So I've seen him now about 4 times. I think a combination of things. I'm a writer. My mentee is a writer. He's also a painter, and so there's a lot of shared interest in that. My professional background is working alongside the criminal justice system, particularly with older prisoners. He's a very similar age to myself, and I particularly wanted to work with an older guy. Yeah, and the role of the mentor-mentee relationship was particularly appealing. That sort of ongoing, hopefully developing, but I expected, and I've not been disappointed, always interesting relationship. There's the belief that you're doing some good to somebody who society might not look too kindly upon, perhaps, but has got a great deal to say, a great deal to offer. So the feeling that you're doing good, I think, is very important. I give up about a day a month. We meet once a month, once every 6 weeks, something like that. So it's about a day a month. But then there can be communication or reading stuff in between. So in total, I suppose if I had to add it up, it'd be about 2 days a month at the moment.
Okay.
The training here was very good. So I had a pretty good idea what to expect, and I had some insight into his background. But there's none of that prepares you for actually meeting a real person. Not that I was shocked or anything like that. Anything like that. I think I felt a little apprehensive about how would I manage the personal professional balance that's important in this particular role. You know, there are there are boundaries, there are guidelines which the training sort of makes very clear, and I think I've gained a great deal. I think unquestionably it's helped my own writing because of the communication. It's very often a two-way thing. It's coming to the point now where I share things with him and he feeds back to me. So it isn't a simple sort of dominant, submissive sort of role, if you like. I gain, just in the process of discussing in depth, you know, for an hour or two with somebody about their work, you inevitably reflect upon your own. So that's great. Learning what motivates him as a writer, how to encourage that, how, you know, just that insight with a fellow human being, actually, I think is a great deal. I'm not just saying this for the camera or so on. I feel quite proud to do this. It's a good organisation. It's a valuable role that is doing somebody some good, and I'm very lucky with my mentee, I think, insofar as he's a very good writer and he's very committed, and I really don't have to work very hard to get him to do some work. He does it anyway, but because of the trust I think that he has in me, that comes from the kind of questions that he asks and the kind of discussion that we have. I do feel that I'm walking beside him, as it were, which is, thank you very much, that's good. You've got to bear in mind that you're there to do a job in a sense, or to fulfill a role. So, like I say, when I'm not there to be his friend, but I am there to be friendly. So it's important to try to work towards some agreed goals. And they can be a wide range of things, but they do really need to be there so that you're not just having a chat, though chat comes into it a lot, but You know, there's a purpose to it. I'd say it can be very rewarding. It can benefit you as a mentor, as an artist, whatever it is that you do. It's tremendously good for you to teach a bit because it helps your own work. Again, it can be enormously satisfying. People come to be mentees after quite a long and careful process of scrutiny, so they're probably fairly serious when they get it. That's not to diminish the challenges that they face. Be realistic about what people might expect. If you've been in an institution for a long time, the kind of total institution that a prison is, you may well not know or have forgotten what it's like on the out. When you're in prison, you've got a lot of people paying attention to you. Sometimes positively, sometimes not so positively, but you're never invisible. When you come out, you're invisible. And that is a big, big shock. You know, and that's one of the things that helping a person to keep on with their art is so important, to help reduce that sense of invisibility and the difficulties that can create, you know. It helps a person create a sense of identity. I'm delighted with the progress he's made. He seems very serious, and if I say to him, "Give me 2 short plays by the next time we meet in a month," he'll do it. I know he'll do it. Or if he won't, there'll be a very good reason, you know. So I feel very optimistic about the progress he's made. I certainly would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to just anyone. I think you've got to be fairly level-headed and have this, you know, you've got to understand what this is about and what it means to be an ex-offender. You know, so you do have to be realistic about it. But you know, that said, you've got to try and work with the person. You've got to understand the person. And if you can do that, yeah, I think it's enormously rewarding, and it's one of the. I've done quite a lot of work in and around volunteers and volunteering, one way or another, and this for me is definitely the most satisfying way of doing it for me.